I'm live. I went live. How y'all feeling? I pray y'all doing absolutely amazing. Listen, it's not gonna be long. I was guided to talk about this. I kept on, and as you see by the title, like I kept hearing, "Let them talk, let them talk," and it was so interesting because I was talking to my nephew yesterday, and he was like telling me what certain people categorized me as, and I was like, okay. You got to ask yourself, what did they do to get that version of me? Okay. And that was one of the things that I told him. I was like, we show up and everybody gets a different version of us. We don't show up the same for everybody. We don't. Whether you want to or whether you try to, we don't show the same up for everybody. Who your significant other is, they see one side of you. They see more of the soft side, more of the loving side, right? Family see another side, friends see another side, coworkers see another side, enemies see another side. So everybody gets a different version of who we are. And a lot of times you're going to hear people say things, try to defamate your character, try to talk about you. You're going to hear those things. That comes with the territory when you grow, when you evolve. I've said this before. Okay, and if you are tuning in, seeing me for the first time, hey, my name is Tiffany. I'm the realest on the planet, the realest you ever hear, you ever meet. Understand, I am coming to you to help you recenter yourself, find yourself again through truth, leading with truth, move with presence, so we can rise with the alignment. And this particular live is really focusing on I want to just kind of say, but then also kind of like encourage you to let them talk. We can't keep addressing, and we're still in the habit of doing that. And I mean, some of us have moved on. Some of us has been like, I'm not going no back and forth. I'm not correcting anybody, and that's good. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. But then there's some of us who are still easily triggered by what people say, what people have to say. We're still easily triggered, and I understand. It's Triggers are very hard for us to heal. They take time for us to heal. But I'm here to say they're going to talk. People's going to talk. It's just what it is. And you have to not allow what they talk or what they say. You don't allow them to change who you are, right? Continue to heal, continue to grow. They're going to talk. It's just what it is. Because at the end of the day, everybody gets a different version of you. What they may say is one thing, what they may say is another thing, what they may say is another thing, and that's because they have experienced different versions. So then they got to ask themselves, what did I do to get this version of? Because it's so funny. I had people call me crazy. I said I am. Okay, I'm not. I don't shy away from that. I had people say that I'm cold. I'm cold as ice, baby. I don't shy away from that. But you got to ask yourself, what did you do for you to experience the coldness? What did you do to experience the crazy? Okay, because I'm not like that with everybody. I don't show up like that with everybody. I'm not crazy with everybody. Hey, 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 thank y'all for tuning in. I'm not cold with everybody. I'm a loving person with the majority of the people. But then it's so interesting because there's so many different narratives spun when we encounter certain people and we may engage. I'm cold as dried ice. Exactly. I'm cold as ice, baby. My day was good. Thank you for checking in, y'all. Thank you, Isabel Ramirez. Thank y'all. Um, and so you are going to have people spin narratives and people are going to say things and people are going to categorize you as such. Say thank you, because I am. Okay, don't deny it because we do show up differently. We all have a dark side, we all have a light side. Some people experience our dark side only, some people experience our light side only, right? Just let them talk. We can't keep being in the habit of correcting because at the end of the day, we're also, when we're trying to correct them, be like, I'm not crazy, and you're a little bit crazy, you're in a sense of denial. So when we're leading with truth, because y'all know that's what we do, we lead with truth. And you may hear people say, oh, you crazy, or hear people say she mean, or hear people say he is cold, or hear people say he low down, or whatever. You do some self reflection. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, is it Azealia? Elisa? I'm sorry if I mispronounced it, baby. I'm sorry. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for chiming in with me. And you, one, have to do some self reflection and be like, okay, there's, for example, let me just give something that people love to say that they're not. You may hear somebody say, you a bum. Okay. You a bum. That's something people may say, especially when it comes to dudes. Be like, you a bum. And you got to do some self reflection. Be like, okay, aw, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Be like, okay, am I a bum? Do I really leech off of people? Ask yourself before you just be like, I ain't no bum. Actually pay attention to what you actually be doing. Because I know a lot of people who are little leeches and they don't want to admit that they're leeches, right? But they are. They got some bummish tendencies, and it's okay. Okay? It's just you got to become aware of it. And you don't have to address it. Let them say that you're a bum. Let them say what they want to say. But this is where you take some time. The things that you hear what people say, take that time to be like, okay, am I really this? And if so, what do I need to do to correct? You're doing it without knowing because they're so used to. Very true. Very true. Oh, thank you, love. It's yeah, it's on do not disturb. That's the way I live my life, girl. Do not disturb. But that is true. They, sometimes they do be doing it. They do be doing that and not knowing just because they're so used to it. And you have to understand people sometimes. And this is what I really talk about when we lead with truth. You gain a level of understanding, not just of oneself, but of others. And so it's like, okay, I know they some leeches, and they know they some leeches, right? But they don't like that title. They don't like that. But that's why I say you just let them talk. Just let people talk. It doesn't matter. Just let them talk. It don't phase you, right? The thing about it is that's when people talk, they know they are easily triggered. Thank you so much. You are too. I haven't seen you, but you're beautiful too. Um, when you just let people talk and you allow people's talk to affect you, that tells you that you still have some healing to do of your self worth, of your self value, of your self respect. Because let me tell you something, it comes with the territory, it comes with life, it comes, oh, you're so sweet. It comes with us healing and growing. People are going to talk about us. It's just what it is. And if you continuously find yourself being easily triggered, if you continue to find yourself being easily bothered about what people say, that's more a reflection of you than it is of them. And this is why I made this title like, you got to let people talk. You got to let people say what they're going to say. If it bothers you, then that needs a moment where you have to take a moment. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so sweet with the compliments today. I appreciate you. You have to take some moment, you have to take some time and really be like, okay, what about me that I still have to heal for the fact that somebody called me this, or because somebody said I was crazy, or because somebody said that I was a leech, or because somebody said that I was trifling, or because somebody said I was cold, or because somebody said I was mean, or I was bitter, I was whatever. If that still triggers you, if that still bothers you about people giving you names and calling you certain things, then you need to take a look at oneself and be like, okay, why is this bothering me? Right? Because it's two things. Even it bothers you because you know that you are, but you're mad because they saying it. Or two, you don't know that you are and you're mad that they're saying it. It's two things, right? And you have to ask yourself, it's not about the person saying it. It was so funny because I was telling my nephew, I was like, he was like, they be saying this, and I was just like, that's when you know you found true happiness when you can shrug off any negative opinions from others. Say that again for the people in the back. Okay. When you have internal happiness and you are at peace with oneself, people can say what they want. They can say whatever they want, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't phase you. And a lot of us are still struggling to get to this point. Because when I was having a conversation with my nephew, he was like, But I don't get auntie. I don't. My auntie's not like that. And yeah, thank you. And it's like, my auntie's not like that. But I was like, but they got a different version of me. So you can't sit there and say that it's not true. You can't sit there and say that it's not something that is not accurate. I can be crazy. Okay. I can be cold. I can be mean, but I also can be loving, and I also can be kind, and I also can be generous, right? I also can be loving. You can get different versions of me, but one, you got to ask yourself, what version are you wanting from me? So when he said that, I was just like, okay, I'm pretty sure I did go off, right? When you approach me at one way, then you get a different way from me. But you don't allow it to get in your head is, oh, thank you. You don't allow it to get in your head. And I think ultimately that's what we're trying to convey. When you take some time to heal, right? And you really ground yourself in your spiritual foundation and you know who you are and who you were created to be, whatever people say, however they may say it, whenever they may say it, it does not phase you because you're grounded in who you are, who you were created to be. You know your worth, you know your value, right? You know who you show up 10 toes down, and you understand that a lot of times, 50% of the time, when they say stuff, it's because they're mad because they no longer have access. It doesn't have any merit, it doesn't have any truth, right? Because a lot of times when you start to heal and you start to create boundaries, you're going to hear a lot of names being said, okay? Because a lot of people don't like boundaries. A lot of people don't like restriction. A lot of people don't like limited access. They like the free will, free space. And so when you create some boundaries, you're going to hear all kinds of names. I mean, all kinds of names. Baby, I have heard it all. Who sung that song? Heard it all before, all your lies. Low vibration activities so why people wake up in time. I do too. And it's not just, I'll be like, it's everybody. I don't feel like it's just culturally based. It's everybody. I pray everybody not necessarily wakes up, but aligns with their spiritual foundation to understand truth, right? You can be woke and still not aligned. I have came across a few people like that they feel like they're woke because of what they know and they're aware of the knowledge, but they're still not aligned with their spiritual connection. So I pray people find their self worth. I pray people find the true value of themselves where they know that they are valuable and they are precious and they're beautiful, regardless of the brokenness, regardless of the band aids, regardless of the wounds that you may experience. You're still a beautiful person. You just have some healing to do. And it just goes to the people who even says the names, right? Who even calls names and says things, I appreciate you. Thank you for being a fan. I'm a fan of you. Thank you. And it goes to the people who even says the name, who tries to defamate people's character. At the end of the day, they are beautiful people. They're just hurt, right? It's that old saying that we fail to remember hurt people do hurt people. And chances are they're spilling names, they're saying names, they're calling names, they're trying to defamate character, they're trying to do hurt, harm, and danger because at the end of the day, they got some healing to do too. And when you deal with individuals like that, this is where compassion and understanding comes into play. That's why you can't take it personal. It's like, let people say what they want to say. Let them talk. Don't take it personal. At the end of the day, they're still going through some internal battles that you have no idea about. And so their projection is to call you names or to say things about you or to defamate your character. And I told my nephew, I said, allow people to say what they want to say. Don't try to stop them from saying whatever. Don't try to correct them either. That's them, hey, that's them trying to find a way to deflect from what they have to do. And this is my main reason of doing this live is because we got to get to a space where everything doesn't need a reaction. Baby, everything doesn't need a reaction. Baby, and I'm one to tell you, I really used to be that girl, a confrontational girl. You said something, I'm in your face, what you said. I used to be that girl, and it didn't serve me any purpose. It actually allowed me to use way more energy than I needed to use. And at that time, I said, okay, I'm not about to correct every single person who says something about me. Because I don't care. And when you find yourself constantly correcting, it's because you care way too much, right? We got to get to a space of not caring. And it's okay. When we get to the space of not caring, then you feel the weight falling off and you be like, okay, let them say what they want to say. Whatever, you're right. 2 plus 2 is 6. You're absolutely correct. Okay, the sky is green, right? Like that type of energy you got to get. You got to get to the point of being very much unbothered. And it takes time, it takes healing, it takes space, it takes understanding, it takes compassion, but you can do it. But this is why I say we gotta let people just say what they need to say. Say what you want, but don't say it's over. I don't know. Call me out my name. See, I don't know where that song came from, but it just popped. Just say what you want, right? Let it be what it's gonna be. I love y'all. I appreciate you. Thank you. Listen, if you are looking for a community of change, right? Next Level Wellness Club, visit nextlevelwellness.club for more information. We have amazing stuff available for you at nextlevelwellness.club, all about community, coaching, and conscious building. It's very important because when you recenter to oneself, you have to figure out how to lead with truth, how to move with presence, right? But how to rise with alignment in order to really operate in your truest and highest form. And this goes for my high performers when it comes to us on a space of going from burnout to breakthrough. Conscious building is necessary, community is necessary, right? Coaching is necessary. You don't have to overextend. You don't have to and this is what nextlevelwellness.club is all about. So again, visit nextlevelwellness.club for more information. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be a blessing, yeah, unto others, but know that you're blessed too.